Another day, another story. Welcome to Idle Chat. Today in the news, Russia retires its mercenary general, Chief Prigozhin. Was it sabotage? Was it space lasers? Nobody knows except you. Let's find out. Wagner chief, Prigozhin, was on board a plane that crashed north of Moscow, Russian Civil Aviation Agency reports. The Wagner group leader, known as Yavgeny Prigozhin, is presumed dead. Russia's Civil Aviation Agency reports the mercenary leader was killed along with his top aide, Dmitry Utkin. Keir Giles, a Russia expert and consulting fellow with Chatham House, said, Prigozhin had taken strict security precautions, having people who traveled under his name to divert attention from his whereabouts. As such, until there is cast iron certainty that Prigozhin is dead, Giles said, we shouldn't be writing him off. Yet Giles was not expecting Russia to be forthcoming about what happened to the downed plane. This is a politically charged event. The chances of there being a transparent investigation which had reliable findings within Russia are really pretty slim. What Yevgeny Prigozhin's death could mean for Putin. Warning. Video contains disturbing images. Eyewitness video shows a plane crashing in Russia's Tver region, north of Moscow. U.S. President Joe Biden said he was not surprised by the news, saying not much happens in Russia that Putin is not behind. I don't know for a fact what happened, but I'm not surprised, he said. Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly told reporters Wednesday that officials in Ottawa were assessing the situation, and that she would be talking to Canada's ambassador to Russia. Russia's civilian aviation regulator, Rosaviatsia, quickly reported that Prigozhin was on the manifest and later said that, according to the airline, he was on board. Earlier, Vladimir Rogov, a Russia-appointed official in the occupied region in Ukraine, spoke to Wagner commanders, who confirmed that Prigozhin was aboard, as was his top associate Dmitry Utkin. It is reported the plane's signal disappeared after takeoff. Flight tracking data reviewed shows a jet used by Wagner took off from Moscow on Wednesday evening. Its transponder signal disappeared minutes later. The plane, carrying 3 pilots and 7 passengers, was en route from Moscow to St. Petersburg and went down almost 300 kilometers north of the capital, according to officials cited by Russia's state news agency, TASS. The signal stopped suddenly while the plane was at altitude and traveling at speed. In an image posted by a pro-Wagner social media account showing burning wreckage, you could see a partial tail number matching the jet. Videos shared by the pro-Wagner Telegram channel Gray Zone show a plane dropping like a stone from a large cloud of smoke, twisting as it falls. Such free falls can occur when an aircraft sustains severe damage, and a frame-by-frame analysis by the AP of 2 videos are consistent with some sort of explosion mid-flight. The images appear to show the plane is missing a wing. Russia's investigative committee opened a probe into the crash on charges of violating air safety rules, as is typical when they open such probes. Interfax, citing emergency officials, reported early Thursday that all 10 bodies had been recovered at the site of the crash and the search operation had ended. Prigozhin's forces fought some of the fiercest battles in Russia's war in Ukraine over the last 18 months. His troops pulled back from frontline action after capturing Bakhmut, a city in the eastern Donetsk region, in late May. Bakhmut had been the subject of arguably the bloodiest battles in the entire war, with the Russian forces struggling to seize it for months. After the rebellion, Russian officials said his fighters would only be able to return to Ukraine as part of the regular army. This week, Prigozhin posted his first recruitment video since the mutiny, saying that Wagner is conducting reconnaissance and search activities, and making Russia even greater on all continents, and Africa even more free. Russian media recently reported, citing anonymous sources, that a top Russian general linked to Prigozhin, Sergei Surovikin, was dismissed from his position as commander of Russia's Air Force. As the news about the crash was breaking, Putin spoke at an event commemorating the Battle of Kursk, lauding what he calls the heroes of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine. Prigozhin led a brief armed rebellion against the Russian military earlier this year. The Russian mercenary leader was presumed dead Wednesday after the crash. The crash immediately raised suspicions. Since the fate of the Wagner private military company has been the subject of intense speculation ever since he mounted the mutiny. At the time, Russian President Vladimir Putin denounced the rebellion as treason and a stab in the back and vowed to avenge it. But the charges against Prigozhin were soon dropped. The Wagner chief, whose troops were some of the best forces fighting for Russia in Ukraine, was allowed to retreat to Belarus, while reportedly popping up in Russia on some occasions. There was no official comment Wednesday from the Kremlin or the Defense Ministry on the fate of Prigozhin. The crash also comes after Russian media reports a top general linked to Prigozhin was dismissed as commander of the Air Force. Tatiana Stanovaya, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Russia Eurasia Center, said on Telegram that, no matter what caused the plane crash, everyone will see it as an act of vengeance and retribution by the Kremlin, and that the Kremlin wouldn't really stand in the way of that. Stanovaya said, "From Putin's point of view, as well as the security forces and the military, Prigozhin's death must be a lesson to any potential followers." According to her, after the mutiny, Prigozhin stopped being the authorities' partner and could not, under any circumstances, get that status back. He obviously did not receive forgiveness from the higher-ups. This may have led to his eventual downfall. This information has been brought to you by Idle Chat. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Another day, another story. Like and subscribe. Idle Chat.